No mai haere mai, maloilele. Welcome to 3 News. The Minister in charge of firearms is refusing to rule out reintroducing the guns banned following the March 15 terror attacks. Former gun lobbyist Nicole Mckee looks set to gain the power to change which guns are prohibited without public consultation. Labour's calling on the Prime Minister to stop that from happening. Here's senior political correspondent Jenna Lynch.
In the wake of New Zealand's darkest day, New Zealanders came together in grief. And the Parliament moved swiftly to ban the type of guns and high-capacity magazines used in the attack.
I can tell you one thing right now. Our gun laws will change.
But 5 years on, a new government, a new agenda, a new firearms minister who won't rule out softening restrictions around military-style semi-automatics.
What I can tell you is my intent is to make sure that public safety is at the forefront of any Arms Act rewrite.
So you're not ruling out reintroducing any guns that are currently prohibited in New Zealand?
Not ruling out nor ruling in.
The Christchurch terrorist was able to carry out his massacre with legally obtained military-style semi-automatic firearms, fitted with magazines holding fewer than 7 rounds. He altered them to fit high-capacity up to 60-round magazines. Under previous laws, you needed an endorsement on your licence for guns with high-capacity magazines. Post-March 15, firearms with magazines holding 10 rounds or more were restricted, and only people like pest controllers, dealers and collectors have access.
Will you rule out reintroducing any prohibited magazines?
I have been advocating since 2012 to ensure that large capacity magazines were put onto an endorsed licence.
It makes me fearful. She came into Parliament off the back of the vote from the gun lobby with a clear agenda to unpick those changes we made back in 2019 after March 15th, and I believe that reintroducing military-style semi-automatic weapons is on her list.
A Cabinet minute from May shows Cabinet agreeing to shift responsibility for the Arms Act to Nicole Mckee, a former gun lobbyist, now Associate Justice Minister with responsibility for firearms. It specifically spells out Section 74A, which gives ministers powers to change which firearms are prohibited by the stroke of a pen, without a full legislative process, without full public consultation.
The power that I had would be, if given it, the ability to make a recommendation to Cabinet, who would then have to approve it.
The power currently sits with the Minister of Police, Mark Mitchell. It was drafted like that by the previous Labour government so as to allow for the quick prohibition of new firearms if advised they were dangerous. But Labour believes the power is dangerous in Mckee's hands.
I believe that the Prime Minister should make Mark Mitchell responsible for determining what is a prohibited firearm in New Zealand. I don't think Nicole Mckee can be trusted with this.
The Minister believes the licensing regime needs a serious look and is open to stricter checks in the fit and proper person test, including social media surveillance.
You know, there's a lot of things that are said by keyboard warriors that are quite concerning. Do we bring that into the firearms regime? And if we do, how do we do that?
Minister, her every political move is now being watched as fears rise gun laws may be loosened.
And Jenna, more's come to light today about Winston Peters and MFAT dodging the budget cuts.
Yes, how did Winston Peters wiggle his way out of this one? Turns out even Treasury wanted to know. Stuff revealed earlier this week that during the budget negotiations, Winston Peters had gone above the Finance Minister's head and negotiated chief to chief with the Prime Minister regarding the savings in which the public service was asked to find 6.5 to 7.5%. Treasury, as was revealed today in a budget document release, asked questions about why he thought MFAT should be exempt from that. They questioned the rationale around that when they said that arguably some of the other public services would have a better case to make given the impact they have on everyday lives. Now, a few days following that, Winston Peters then wrote to the Prime Minister, reluctantly offering up about $100 million in savings, using words like extreme reluctance, seriously unwise, absolute last resort. And as it turns out, MFAT made 1% cuts, while the rest of the public service found that 6 to 7.
Jenna Lynch live from Parliament. Tēnā koe.